Wanna be Ryan the Great, and today we are talking the Philadelphia Eagles, guys. They absolutely dominated the Commanders in the fourth quarter. 20 points in the fourth quarter. They were only answered until the last few minutes of the game, but the Eagles come away with a dominant win, 26-18, that was really led by a fourth quarter performance from the Philadelphia Eagles. And yeah, we're going to be talking about it. We're going to break down the whole game and every position and whatnot. You guys know the drill. So let's just get right into it. But before we get right into it, guys, make sure you guys subscribe with your post notifications on. Go subscribe to my brother in the Great Vlogs. Make sure you guys subscribe to my second channel at Ryan the Cod Great. Make sure you guys go follow me on X or on the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok at Ryan the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go listen to the latest edition of the CR7 podcast. And make sure you guys go follow me on Twitter at Ryan the Great Podcast. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's turn the video and let's roll that intro. Hey, come on, Stotty. Stop! 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 Red flare! First pitch! Bring him in! Yeah! Oh, damn. Alright, let's go to the video. So starting off, we always know we start off with the Eagles, their offense, and their quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Once again, a terrible first half performance. This time, it wasn't that he wasn't throwing the ball away. This time, he just wasn't reading the coverage well and not getting it to his receivers. I mean, there were plenty of times where so many receivers were open. There was a few times, I think near the goal line, I saw, or like near the red zone, I saw Calcaterra open on a wheel. He threw it to Goddard. There were times where he just threw it away, and A.J. Brown was open. Devontae Smith was open. There were just so many times where guys were open, and he just was not getting the ball. Even the time where he hit his head, he could have waited for just another second and didn't have to escape the pocket and could have just lollipopped it up to, or rainbowed it up to, in the end, to a guy in the end zone right as this first half was ending. So just not a great half. But then in the second half, he came out and played absolutely incredible. His reads were good. He was getting out of the pocket when he needed to. He was throwing the ball away when he needed to. He ran the ball well, only had 39 rushing yards, but they were very, very effective, and they really made a difference on the game. And he was just basically throwing the football well in the second half. I just don't understand what the problem is with him in the first half. Like, should we just start the game in the second half? Should he just not play the first half? I know I'm joking here, but like it just doesn't really make that much sense why he can't play in the first half, and just all of a sudden in the second half he just starts, he plays like an MVP candidate. It just doesn't make any sense overall. He didn't turn the ball over this week, which I wasn't too concerned about him turning the ball over last week against Dallas. And overall, I guess not a terrible game, but just I just don't understand why he can't play well in the first half. Anyway, moving on to our running back, Saquon Barkley. Not a good first half rushing, but then they learned to run him on the outside. I think going into the second half, he had 7 carries when they ran to the outside, or ran outside the tackles, and he got about 37 yards. I mean, you do the math, that's just about more than 5 yards per carry. So, they learned to get him on the outside. And if teams are going to stack the box, then those outside linebackers are not going to be on the outside. It's just simple football, man. Like it's I'm not saying anything that nobody else can tell you. Those outside linebackers are going to be worried about Saquon Barkley getting through the A and B gaps, and they're going to pinch through there. So if you get him to the outside, I have faith in guys like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith to make some blocks on the outside. While they're not the best receiving blockers in the world, they can at least make some blocks for Saquon Barkley, one of the best running backs in the NFL, now leading the NFL in rushing yards. So, I have no doubt in my mind they can make those blocks. So I'm glad that Kellen Moore made that adjustment. And then, when we started putting Hurts under center, it was pretty much game over. We scored 2 touchdowns in 20 seconds, and Saquon Barkley, obviously, with those touchdowns, 33 fantasy points overall. Now, I don't have him on fantasy, but I know people who do, and they are rejoicing. And then Gainwell, got to give him credit. I mean, when Barkley needed a break, he came in there and had about 25 yards on 3 plays and really set us up, to get a touchdown. Great burst of speeds off the line of scrimmage, and he really made some plays off the draws. I didn't expect him to get the ball for 3 straight plays, but even on the first play, I was very surprised that they ran the ball with him, and they put the faith in it. The coaching staff, put the faith in him, and he really converted off what we needed him to do. Anyway, moving on to our wide receiver, starting off with A.J. Brown. Still the best one-on-one receiver in the NFL. Hurts just couldn't read him well. There were many times where A.J. Brown was wide open and he was not getting the football. Most notably, I believe it was on the third or fourth drive the Eagles had in the first half. Hurts missed him on a third down, and he ran a beautiful out route, and it was just terrible. I really don't understand what Hurts was doing for the most part in the first half, but not the best game for Brown, obviously. 65 yards total. His double move was not good. There were a couple times where he was trying to run a double move, and I don't know, it's just not working. It is what it is. Hurts didn't look too much on the outside for him. And the time that it was incomplete, when he looked for him on one of the third downs, he just kind of gave up looking for him on the outside. I was pretty disappointed in there with that. Devontae Smith, when he got the ball, he just kept trying to do too much. I understand he should have gotten the penalty for the face mask and all that, but, if he just would have caught the ball on the outside and just ran up the sideline, he would have got more yards than what he with what he got on the plays, that which he finished with the total stats. I don't know. I'm not making sense right now, but you guys kind of get my point. If he just wouldn't have stopped and tried to do all these fancy juke moves and just ran up the sideline, he would have gotten more yards than what he did get, at the end of the play. So I just don't understand. He was trying to do way too much. And if he just would have played simple football, then it would have been fine. Dotson, he was used a lot in motion. He had the one catch on the bubble screen. I think it was the first play of the game. But other than that, he really wasn't used much. He did get another target on a slant, but it got knocked out of his hands. He didn't tuck the ball quick enough. So, it is what it is. Tight ends, you love to see Goddard getting the ball on the outside. That's what I want to see. Helped us keep the momentum. He was really hard to bring down. He did a great job staying on his feet. Didn't let anybody get to his legs to make tackles. And thank God for Calcaterra to recover that fumble. If you guys saw my tweet, I said I love Saquon Barkley and Calcaterra, and that's all. He really helped it. He really saved that game, and he really made a play. Credit, I love to see Sirianni give him credit in the post, in the press conference after the game that, he gave Calcaterra the credit because he really has stepped up in the past couple of weeks when Goddard has been out. And even when Goddard's in there, he's making plays that really saved the team. The offensive line, MVP of the line was definitely Jordan Mailata. There is no doubt about it. I did not expect him to play at all. I thought they were going to keep him out another week. But Hurts felt very comfortable in the pocket. He was able to step up because of the fact he had a lot of time. And, Lane Johnson was good. There were times where he let off some blockers, that kind of created some pressure. Juergens looked great when he was pulling for guys like Saquon Barkley and others. He pulled out his inner Kelsey there. So, love to see that. Dickerson, Becton, they were pretty decent. Becton had one penalty. I think it was a holding penalty that I didn't really agree with. But, it was a ticky-tacky in my opinion. But it is what it is. But a lot better of a game for the offensive line. We really played well. And then the defense and our defensive line, Jalen Carter, that is a grown man right there. Literally a grown man. He is so powerful. This guy cannot be stopped. He was a constant force in the backfield. He was the reason that forced Daniels to run on that 4th and 2 where Zach Baldwin made the tackle. People love to give credit to Baldwin on that play, and you definitely should. But Jalen Carter, he really forced Daniels to do that, and it could have been it possibly could have been a first down if Daniels would have taken it himself and Carter wouldn't have gotten in that backfield. So you got to give him credit. He's not, Cole said it on the podcast yesterday, that, he might not show up in the stat sheet, but he makes a great impact, and he was 100% right talking about that. Jalen Carter with an incredible job. Brandon Graham, great game from him, had a sack. Really incredible job defending the run. He was one of the forces as well as Jalen Carter. He was constant in the backfield. I was calling his name a lot on my stream. He was really doing a great job there. Josh Sweat had a nice sack, a tackle for loss as well. We had a really, really great defensive line game. There really was not much to critique with this defensive line. They did a really great job today. And they really killed Washington's momentum because they were trying to run the ball a lot in this game and on early downs, and it created those third down opportunities. And then you let the reins of guys like Zach Bond, Quinyon Mitchell, Darius Slay, and others finish it for you on third down. So you got to give credit to the defensive line on those early downs. Moving over to the linebackers, Nolan Smith had a great pass rush off the edge on a sack. There's a little slap to the left tackle, and he really made a nice play. Got to give him credit there. Bond, I mean, this guy's really something else. What was it, 15 total tackles, something around there. He was involved in every play. He really made an effort to help guys make tackles, and you really have to, you're going to have to pay him at the end of the year. So it's that sort of time where you have to start talking about contracts, and this is a guy that you're going to have to pay in the offseason. Also made the stop on 4th and 2. Daniels could have potentially got that first down, but he had a nice hit there. I would have preferred it if he would have wrapped up, but then again, roughing the passer and late hits on quarterbacks are always called, so I can't really necessarily blame him. Dean, another great game. Had some really nice open field tackling. He stopped Daniels from running the ball. He was the spy for the most part. Daniels just could not get taken off, and I said it in the beginning of the game, or I said it in my preview video, that you're going to have to keep Daniels inside of the pocket. And he will not flourish. And he really did not have great throws. There were times where throws were very, very low. They were at the feet of receivers. And, also the secondary, which I'm getting into now, looked really, really good. Quinyon Mitchell, this guy is a defensive rookie of the year. Locked down Terry McLaurin. I really don't care, what everybody, all the haters want to say on Twitter, that McLaurin was open on routes and stuff like that. I mean, if you want to say that, okay, he got some separation, but all receivers can get separation. I mean, do you literally want him off his, literally on top of him the whole play? So when Daniels throws the football, McLaurin's going to have to slow down eventually to try and go, try and catch the football. And you're telling me Quinyon Mitchell can't, use his speed to recover and make a pass deflection? So it really doesn't make that much sense to me. What people are trying to say about him and trying to discredit him, but when they hate us because they ain't us, you know what I'm saying? But Darius Slay, great. He was good. I mean, he got lucky on most of the passes that came his way. They were very underthrown. Daniel's not a great game. Cooper DeJean should have had a perfect game if it wasn't for that stupid pass interference penalty. But other than that, he was really good. T.J. Gardner-Johnson, not much. Obviously he's just a vet and made some veteran impact. Not too many tackles this week. Blankenship, I love it when he walks down because he can hit, and then also he has those opportunities to make those interceptions. He does a really great job reading quarterback's eyes, and I don't think he gets credit for that as much as he should, but he really made a play there. The coaching, the play calling was good, other than the flea flicker in the first half. We really couldn't execute in the first half, which was obviously on the team, but, the second half we started to come out a little better and everything started to flow. I'm happy that we were able to make the adjustments to get the ball to Barkley on the outside. I would hope that's Sirianni who made that adjustment, but, you never know. Defensively, good job, really good game plan. We kept Daniels in the pocket, and we trusted the secondary enough that they were going to be able to make plays, saying that we would keep Daniels in the pocket, which we did. Moving on, the bottom line, defense proved that they can be great, and they played some offenses that were not playing so well over the past couple of weeks, like Cincinnati, and, Cincinnati, yeah, it's questionable. Cincinnati, Dallas, and others like that. The defense was holding them to, just a few points per game, but they weren't that great of offenses. Jacksonville, another. And then you came out against Washington offense that put 27 up on Pittsburgh just on Sunday. And, they played really, really well, and I think that proved to just about everybody in the NFL that the Eagles' defense is legit. And if we can just improve our first half offense, or I guess I could say if we just played the first half like the way we played the second half, then we would be one of the most dominant teams in the NFL, and we really could be an unstoppable force. But we have this bye now, mini bye, I guess you could say. We have 9 days off, something around there. Guys are definitely banged up. On the injured report, there's always something. I'm sure Hurts is probably shaken up from that, when he was getting looked at with a concussion. I don't know if Mailata's 100%. He looked it last night, though. Bryce Huff's been dealing with problems. Everybody's been dealing with a bit of injury. So hopefully we get rested up and get ready to play the Rams next Sunday, or in 2 Sundays from now, sorry. And yeah, that'll do it for this video, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe to the post notifications on. Go subscribe to my brother, Linda Gray Blogs. Make sure you guys go subscribe to my second channel at Ryan the Calgary. Make sure you guys go follow me on X Ryan the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok at Ryan the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go listen to the latest edition of the CR7 podcast. And make sure you guys go follow me on Twitch at Ryan the Great Podcast. And as always, Ryan the Great out. Peace.